Hey guys, it's Holly. So today we're going to be having a look at the one lone 4+ Spider-Man set, which my one has a very damaged box because of the thumb tabs, which is absolutely lovely. And this is set 76184, which is Spider-Man versus Mysterio's drone attack. And I'm pretty sure you and me, we're all on the same page here that we're only really buying this for the figures. It's pretty much going to cost you the same price, I feel like, if you would just buy the figures. And for me personally, I thought, why not spend that same amount of money and just buy it in store, buy it on release day as soon as possible so I can have them extra early. Yeah, I could have been patient and maybe saved a couple of dollars, but I really like them. But it's a 4+ set, so it's really not all that interesting besides that. So let's go have a look at the figures and the random builds. So here's the set all built up, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watching this, just like me, are mostly buying this for the figures. The rest of it, it's a 4+ set. We don't really care about the build, so let's get straight into it, starting off with Spider-Man. The figure we've all been waiting for, the black and red upgraded suit. And the fact that it comes in a 4+ set is kind of sad, but at least it's super cheap and super accessible for such a popular suit. I honestly wasn't a huge fan of this when the movie first came out, but this suit has grown on me a lot, and honestly, it has to be one of my favorite Spider-Man suits. And this figure does come with this little web string accessory, as well as one of the giant web pieces on the end, which is pretty cool. I love getting tons of those web stringing pieces, and this figure's printing I really like. The torso is incredibly similar to sort of just the regular red and blue suit that we've seen before in the Homecoming and Far From Home sets, but with a bit of extra detailing and no arm printing this time around, which I get. It wouldn't be too much of it if there was arm printing, but at the same time it's kind of sad to see, but that's alright, it's not the end of the world. He does, however, have hip printing, which is really nice, and it continues on to this really nice leg printing, and he has dual molded legs, which just looks fantastic. This figure is so well done. I love the back printing as well, and I love the shiny silver on the figure. It looks really good, and he has the same head as the integrated suit from the Sanctum set, which is pretty cool. Part of me thinks the eyes are a tiny bit too big, but at the same time, I think it works really well. This is definitely my favorite figure from this set, and probably my favorite figure out of this entire wave, if I'm honest. Next up, we have Mysterio, and he comes along with this little radio as well as a red gem. And when you flip that off, we can have a better look at all of his printing. Now, this Mysterio actually has a different colored torso to the ones in the Far From Home sets. This is a brand new figure, brand new printing, and unlike those original ones, this one actually has a gold torso, which honestly, I'm not a huge fan of. I would have much preferred it to be green and then have the gold printed on it. It just sort of sticks out to me, especially when you turn it to the side and you just have these giant gold panels to me. It's not something that I particularly like with my minifigures, but for some of you, it might not bother you, and that's completely fine. The printing on the torso, however, I absolutely love. The fine detailing, it looks so good. I also love the leg printing, and even the back printing is really nice. I love how the cape sort of continues over around the neckline. I think it looks really good. Now, another difference with this Mysterio to the ones that came in the Far From Home sets is actually the glass dome. They brought back that sort of blue, shiny one that we gotten in sort of the Daily Bugle, as well as the Monster Truck sets earlier this year, which personally I kind of prefer the Sesame Street dome, and that's something I might swap out, but it does have a blue head underneath, so I wonder if that's going to sort of change the color of the shine. I feel like, considering this is a pretty solid piece, you can't really see all too far through it. It would have been really nice to finally get a Quentin Beck face print underneath here, but hopefully that's something that pops up in the future, although I highly doubt it. Now, another thing with Mysterio is he's got these classic 4+ Juniors spongy capes, and this actually has one hole, just like the Batman tumbler ones, which I find quite interesting. I wonder if it's just to make it a bit easier for sort of younger kids, and then maybe they'll keep the starchy ones with the 2 holes in sort of the 18+ sets or ones with an older age group. But I found that quite interesting, though it doesn't really bother me. I just feel like I've sort of got to push down on the cape a bit better to stop it from sort of sticking out as much. And our last figure is the only one that is not brand new to this set, and that is Nick Fury. And for me personally, I don't have a Nick Fury figure at the moment, so I'm really glad to see him here. And he also has the newer coattails piece without that center cloth in the middle, which I personally much prefer on him, and I really like this figure. Admittedly, my coattails piece has a really thick printing compared to the rest of them that I have. It just feels like maybe this was a slight misprint. The lines feel a tiny bit blurry and fuzzy, but it's not too big of a deal that I'm going to go and complain about it or anything, but I thought I would let you know. I also really love this torso printing. I think it looks really good, and his face as well looks incredible. And on the back you have some slight back printing as well as the continuation of Nick Fury's eye patch. Now, even though this figure isn't actually accurate to Far From Home because, you know, S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't exist anymore and he was just dressed in all black, I don't really mind because this is the classic iconic Nick Fury outfit, so I'd much rather have that in my collection rather than one that's a bit more accurate. But that is something to note with this set. But at the end of the day, this is a 4+ set, even though the figures are definitely something that a lot more people are going to be after. And lastly, we have the 2 builds for this set, and one thing that kind of sucks about this set just being a glorified people pack, I feel like in my opinion, is the fact that it's 4+, so most of these pieces you're not really going to be able to reuse or utilize, considering the entire base of this car is just one solid piece. The drone is a bit more sort of usable, but still nothing spectacular in my opinion, and it also just means it feels like you're really not getting a lot for your money because of the size of these pieces. However, I feel like it is made up in the fact that we get 2 exclusive figures, one of which has been a very sought after and wanted character for a while, so it's not too bad. So to start off with, let's take a look at the little drone, because I think this is definitely the better one in my opinion, but it just feels a tiny bit bulky. I would have loved there to be some sort of like flag piece sticking off the side to make it look like it's flying a bit more, but overall it's just very basic. You've got these sort of clip pieces to sort of be the little lasers sticking out of the front, and then there's a tiny bit of a play feature where using this brick you can stick these round green dishes through and sort of have them fire off at people, which I think is pretty cool, though it moves a lot faster than I expected. Wow. I wonder if I can actually aim with Mysterio here. Oh, kind of. Pow! Oh, I did it. Now, it's a good thing you get 3 of these dishes in this set because that fires very, very aggressively and very violently, so if you are planning on using that as a play feature, make sure you watch out for people. And then lastly, you have this tiny little police car build or shield car, or I mean technically this is supposed to represent probably some sort of Audi, but it's got the police sirens on the top, so I don't know, I'm kind of confused. This police car is pretty simple, it rolls smoothly, there's space for Nick Fury, which is quite nice, and most importantly it actually has space for these 2 sort of space guns that the instructions say to give Nick Fury. I don't think it matches his character at all, but I get why they sort of went for alien blasters, and a little clip joint at the end, so I guess Spider-Man can sort of hang on for dear life as Nick Fury drives around London, sort of dropping him off to Tower Bridge. So that is the entire set, and there is no doubt in my mind that I purely just bought this for the figures. It's really just, I feel like, a glorified minifigure pack. Yes, it's technically a set, but at the end of the day, majority of the people probably buying this aren't going to be 4+. They're not going to be in that age demographic, and usually with Lego, I feel like it can apply to everyone, but 4+ sets, I really feel like are just their own sort of breed. This really is, you're just buying it for the figures, but at least the figures in this set are really, really good. But if you are looking to get this, unless you're impatient like myself, just buy it on sale or buy the figures off Bricklink, although I feel like the kind of cost will be roughly the same as just getting the set in general, which is going to be a lot more easy and accessible for a lot of people, so do keep that in mind as you get it. But let me know what you guys think about this set, and are you planning on getting it? And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel down below, and be sure to check out the remaining of the Spider-Man No Way Home reviews as well. And until next time guys, I'll see you later.